All right, people. Tommy Robinson has done it again. So about 8 months ago in September, Tommy Robinson brought in millions of people to London. He united people from all walks of life under one agenda, which is British culture. The British way of life is supreme and it must be preserved and we must stand up for it. Otherwise, we're going to lose it. That's it. It's a very simple message. It is for everyone. He has said it time and time again that it is not a race-based agenda. People from all racial backgrounds are welcome to join. People from all cultural backgrounds are welcome to join. But British culture, the British way of life is supreme. That's at the very top. If you come from any other culture, you're welcome to come. But you're going to have to put that culture on the backside, because if you're going to live in England, if you're going to live in Britain, you're going to have to respect the British way of life. That's it. It's such a simple point. But the other side is dishonest. It is so dishonest that they keep misrepresenting him. They keep giving him labels that are, to be honest, completely dumbfounded. It leaves people dumbfounded because we can only go by what people say, okay? Keir Starmer has a position. Everyone's welcome, diversity, our strength, blah, blah, blah. We don't know what's in his heart. We don't know. But we can only go by what someone says publicly. It's the same with everyone else. The Democrats say one thing, our lefties say one thing, and our conservatives say one thing. So we can only go by what you say. Nearly a week ago, Keir Starmer received the worst spanking of his life, okay? He got obliterated, destroyed, humiliated, whatever word you want to use, it will fit right in, I'm sure. He got destroyed in the local general elections. So he's been, understandably, he's been facing leadership challenges. Everyone, even those backbenchers are challenging him for his leadership role. So what does he do? He comes out, he tries to divert the attention to who? To Tommy Robinson, who he thought is a low-hanging fruit, who he thought is going to be an easy punching bag, but because this guy is an absolute idiot, he's a clown. I don't know how he made it this far. He cannot read the room. He's a robot. He doesn't understand the mood in the public is changing. And one way to look at it is the amount of people you see. I thought they would have understood it last time, because last time's rally was even bigger than this one. Okay, I'll get to the numbers. And I don't think there's any shame in saying that in September, Tommy brought in 1 million plus people. And this time, maybe close to 1 million people, 500,000 people. I don't know. But it wasn't as big. It doesn't look as big as the last time. But that's perfectly fine. It's not on Tommy. It's on Keir Starmer. I'll prove it to you. So Keir Starmer can't read the room. He still has to appease certain groups, certain factions within his community, within his party, sorry. So he comes out the very next day and says this.
Now, other parties will draw different lessons. In fact, they already are. More pointing at Britain's problems, looking not for solutions, but for someone to blame. Now, that's fine if it's me, if it's politicians, that's the job.
He's a liar. He hates criticism. He hates it.
But increasingly, it's not. It's other people in this country.
Yeah, like refugees and migrants who came here uninvited, illegally, and they've been killing people like Wayne Broadhurst, Shannon White. There was another man, I saw a video. It didn't make it to the news or anything. This sub-Saharan African, he was just walking past. He saw a man in England, stabbed him to death, and just kept walking. And the CCTV camera picked up his casual walk away from the crime scene. Those are the kind of people that people are talking about. People are saying, we don't want that in our country. And he takes holier than thou position. These virtue signalers, they tell you, oh, we will live in security in our secluded posh community, but you poor people, you should put up with it. You should embrace these people who've come from foreign cultures, who share nothing in common with your way of life. You should tolerate that. Get stabbed, get raped, get your girls raped. You should complain about it. That's what he's saying. No, Keir Starmer, your time's up. The days of virtue signaling others to keep sacrificing on your behalf, on behalf of your bad policy decisions, no, those days are over.
And I don't think that's British. That is not the decency and respect that we are known for. But it's here. That politics is with us now.
Forever.
And you'll see it again on Saturday at a march designed to confront and intimidate this diversity and this diverse country. That is why this Labour government will block far-right agitators from travelling to Britain for that event.
This government will block far-right agitators from coming to England. So it's not just a message to the foreigners, but also to the locals that if you go there, we'll be watching you like hawks. And in my opinion, that deterred a lot of people from attending that march. But it still was a success by any stretch of imagination. I would say that this was the second biggest political rally. It's actually not even a political rally. It's a cultural rally. That's why Tommy has done something really remarkable about this whole thing. He's not labeling it as a political movement. He's labeling it as a cultural movement. It's the culture. It's the revival of British culture, being proud of British identity. Yes, the definition of British identity had been somewhat contaminated, had been diluted, but we need to have firm parameters around who can be called British, and it's not race-based as he would like you to believe.
Because we will not allow people to come to the UK, to threaten our communities, and spread hate on our streets.
Shut up.
Now,
So he said this, and then after that, look at this. He's personally overseeing the security arrangements. Look at this.
The map the coalition will take, so that bottom map there. The blue route to the other side is the route that Unite the Kingdom will be
What a
following.
robot.
We'll be using public order conditions.
What a clown.
And their form-up locations. And then NAPRA intend to run.
What a clueless twat. Look at him. He's sitting there. Yes, those far-right thugs, they're going to cause violence. Let me tell you, last year in September, they expected the same thing. Only 20 people were arrested. Half of them were counter-protesters, okay? 12 people in a rally of 1 million people. That is amazing. You don't find it anywhere like that. You go to the MCG, you get more people arrested, okay? To watch a cricket match between Pakistan and India, okay? You get more people arrested. Actually, you'd expect that there. But, okay, the UK versus England versus Australia, you get more people arrested over there. But he's sitting there like, oh, this is a major concern. It's a matter of national security. All hell's going to break loose if we don't do something. Look at him. What a twat.
Rally at Waterloo Place, and Unite the Kingdom will tend to rally at Parliament Square. So we're going to have a fairly sizable sterile area between that.
So, and after that, he gave this speech. I'm so sorry. This is the last speech I'm going to play. Okay, I know you hate, I'm sure you hate him as much as I do. I just hate the way he speaks.
tomorrow's march in London is a reminder of what we're up against in the battle of our values. The organisers, including convicted thugs and racists, are...
This is a guy who proudly defended and successfully got child rapist out of prison.
peddling hatred and division. Plain and simple.
Nothing wrong in hatred and division. Law-abiding people want to be separated from people who don't obey the laws. There's nothing wrong with that. These distinctions exist for a reason. Cultural distinctions have been with us since the dawn of time. Cultures matter. That's why people aggressively fight to preserve their way of life. There's a reason behind that. These forces are bigger than lefty or righty politics. These are biological forces that humanity has been dealing with for thousands of years, ever since the dawn of civilization. Cultures, societies, ways of life, they matter.
Their goal is to convince people that Britain's problems are caused by those...
Shut up. Okay, you get the point. He's just blaming them. So let me just quickly tell you, look at this. 423 people were arrested in Nottingham Carnival 2025. Palestine action protests, 890 arrests. London Unite the Kingdom rally in September last year, only 25 arrests. And in this year's rally, I think there were only 10, 15 arrests as well. Let me show you the caliber of people, because some counter-protesters, some virtue signaling people who think that they are riding on their moral high horse, they have their morality covered, they are the good ones, and the Patriots are the bad ones. Those people turned up too. I think there were 2,000 or 3,000 of them. Zara Sultana turned up there and she said, oh, 250,000 people. It's pathetic. I'm not even going to get in that. Let me show you the difference. So this little girl also attended Tommy Robinson's rally. Have a listen to her. Have a listen to her. Have a listen to how she speaks.
I'm here to protect the kids and how I have the streets safer for when I have kids. Because I'm scared. Because I'm scared if anything's going to happen to me. Because being a white girl is really scary at this time. Loads of people call me racist for going to these, but I just want to be able to feel safe in my own community. And I just want to be able to walk the streets like my dad and my mum used to without a worry.
Not going to school at the moment. What's happening there?
People are calling me racist at school for going to the marches, and they're calling me far right. But the thing is, I'm not far right. I respect everyone's cultures, their religion, where they come from, and their background. I just want to be able to feel safe.
Okay, you can disagree with her. Okay, these lunatics can disagree with her, but she's talking. I actually personally don't like involving kids in protest into these political debates because I think you can get the other side do the same thing. I personally don't like involving kids because the other side can do that too. However, what they can't do, they can't replicate. They can't hide their classless, their uncouth behavior. If you are an uncouth, uncultured barbarian, then that's going to somehow seep into your child as well. Listen to, I mean, the child is innocent. I feel bad for the child. I think children's social services should get involved and immediately remove this kid from the care of her parents.
Show him your
That's her mother. They always look the part, don't they?
sign.
All right, let's see. Fuck off Nazis. Yeah. All right, would you like to elaborate?
I mean, I think he summed it up really. Nazis are
He. It's a he.
fuckers.
Okay. He's fired
Anti-Tommy
up.
Robinson, anti-division, pro-Palestine. So why are you here, Roshi? What do
Every position she said, he, I actually don't know what it is. Every position, I'm going to go with she because that's my best guess. It might be a she. Might have transitioned. I don't know. Every position she took, just because she took it, you should take the opposite position.
Palestine? So why are you here?
He's fired
Anti-Tommy
up.
Robinson, anti-division, pro-Palestine. So why are you here, Roshi? What do you feel about Tommy Robinson?
Your thoughts on Tommy Robinson?
I want to eat him. He is a big bucket. La, la, la.
Did he say I want to eat him? Yeah, I want to eat him. Oh my God. So these are the people we're dealing with, guys. When remember when Keir Starmer said that, oh, this rally, that's what we're up against. No. Let me show you some of those videos from those people. Have a look at this. Narinder Kaur, I don't know what she is. That lunatic. She turned up, obviously, as always. Look at this. Look at this. They always look the part.
are welcome. Refugees are welcome.
They always look the part, don't they? Look at that. What is this? Look at all. It's a freak show. It's a freak show. But I'm going to show you the tiers of the other side because, and I'll come to the numbers as well. I got to go through a lot. Look at this. Middle East Eye played Tommy's video and they're having a meltdown. Have a listen.
What would happen if you become a prime minister tomorrow? What would you change?
I would stop Islam. I'd end foreign funding in this country. All the migrants would be taken out of the hotels.
Far right public figure. These names just don't matter anymore. And look who's talking about it. It's the Middle East. This publication is called Middle East Eye. They amputate people's hands. They still force women to dress in bin bags. They still have some of the most medieval, archaic laws in existence. They are as far right as one can be. And they have the cheek to call him far right. Again, this is one. Nobody cares about these labels anymore, guys. Nobody cares. Look at that guy behind him. What a far right white supremacist right there. You know why he's far right? Because he's wearing the St. George's cross. That's why he's far right. His crime is that he loves his country. He loves his British identity. Despite being black, they ignore it.
It's time to go home. Right? You've got your homes to go to. This is our home. We've got nowhere to go to. We're not allowing it to change any longer. You've seen today, people are fed up, man. People are fed up.
Fed up. National sovereignty, safety and security.
Yeah, we're fed up.
And national identity.
Thank you. God bless.
That was a little awkward at the end. Look at this. Owen Jones. This Gays for Gaza person, one of the worst, dumbest idiot going around at the moment. He even actually just recently said, oh, there's been an increase in homophobic attacks in England. And people were like, I wonder why that is. Oh, I wonder why that is happening. People you simp for, appease, and bend over backwards for are the number one reason behind the increase in the attacks against against the LGBTQ community. But he still can't say it. What a dumbass. If people dressed up as Orthodox Jews as objects of ridicule at a pro-Palestine protest, is that how you'd respond? If committing to stop Islam and deport Muslims also parody, yeah, nobody cares. So this is what he's doing. So this guy's another Islamist propagandist. This is vile, but because it's targeted against Muslims, the Met Police wouldn't care. Imagine if a pro-Palestine march had someone on stage mocking Orthodox Jewish women. You know, go do it. I'll show you what they say. This is what they say. And the police can't do anything. See that? F this, F that, F those women. Are there women? That's what he's saying. That's what they say. And they're worried about a couple of women speaking up for women liberation. It is funny. Oh, look. Who's underneath? Is that Osama? Is that Muhammad? Is that Abdul? Or is this Bushra? Or is this Salma? Is this Aisha? Who is it? We don't know. We want to know. Take it off.
Take it off.
Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Oh! No way. Take the rest off too. We don't like to see women covered as objects. We don't like it. So this is pissing off a lot of people, a lot of these do-gooders. Owen Jones, no condemnation from our politicians, no outrage from the media, no action by the police. British Muslims are sent a clear message. Yes! Get the hint. Get the hint. You are fair game for hatred. Not fair game for hatred. No, we're just we don't like this. This is not our way of life. Just like you wouldn't go to Saudi Arabia and start, or Afghanistan, or a Muslim country, and start mocking Western women by wearing bikinis. We'll be like, hey, you can't do that. Why? You know why? Because you wouldn't be allowed to do that. Because you have a barbaric, primitive culture where you don't understand protests or mockery. By the way, these things have been happening in the West for a very long time. Ever heard of Life of Brian? I've watched so many videos, movies, documentaries where they criticize religion. So there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm an atheist. I say that as an atheist. But what we cannot have is protected class. We cannot have a protected class where it cannot be criticized, mocked. Mockery is a part of our society. It's a part of free society. But let me show you the tears of Piers Morgan. Have a look at this. I bow to expertise in attention-seeking sausages. I am watching the cup final where there's a bigger crowd. So Piers is an attention-seeking sausage. This is what Tommy Robinson posted. This is a fairly decent size. Look at that. Goes from there, goes all the way there, not all the way down there, over Westminster Bridge. Last year was all the way from there, all the way from Whitechapel, all the way to that. Right, let me mute that. So sorry, last year it was all the way from Whitechapel to that circular IMAX cinema. So it was much bigger last time. Okay, that's my opinion. I messaged Tommy Robinson for his comment. Obviously, publicly, he's saying he hasn't put a number yet. I haven't seen it, but I remember I have seen last year's videos. Last year's event was obviously bigger than this, but this is not a small event. Okay, Piers Morgan basically threatened people with possible repercussions if they attended, because why would you employ facial recognition software when Tommy Robinson has proven that his rallies are one of the most peaceful? They're the largest in the country, and they are the largest gatherings of people in the country, and at the same time, they happen to be the most peaceful one. I've shown you the numbers. So it doesn't look as big as last year, but it's still pretty big. So Tommy, I asked Tommy Robinson for a comment. He didn't reply. So I don't know, maybe I was looking forward to the helicopter footage. We got this helicopter footage eventually. But as I said, this is not on Tommy. If fewer people turned up than last time, then this is not on Tommy. This is on Keir Starmer's threats, because he was desperate to divert the attention from his leadership challenge to something else. And what better target than the far-right boogeyman? That's what he did. But luckily, here's what's gracing our news headlines. Dan Hodges is saying, my sources tell me Keir Starmer has decided to stand down, but he'll do it on his own terms. He's going to do it on his own terms. Sorry. So I wanted to play you this video where Owen Jones was saying, oh, look, you know, if we did that about Jews, all hell will break loose. This is what they say in London to Jews in their face.
Fuck Israel, big up Palestine, free Palestine, to the river, to the sea. Fuck Israel, big up Palestine, Palestine will be free. The Jews, you man are gonna get beheaded one by one, you dirt.
So yeah, you see that? You're gonna get beheaded one by one, you dirty Jews. That's what he's saying. Big up.
Yeah, tell him.
What happened to him? Nothing. Keir Starmer would probably award him. Look at this. The Islamists are in a meltdown. They're like, oh, look at this, what they're saying. F Islam, Christ is king. Please don't say that. Imagine the absolute meltdown on front page news if the sign said F Judaism. They're always going for Judaism because they know, well, Christians are waking up. They make up the big majority of all Western countries, and because of the antagonization, Christians are uniting. And look, Tommy Robinson had a lot of Christian speakers, Christian pastors, and I would say that this is a cultural movement. Christianity is part of that culture, but it also includes a lot of seculars, a lot of atheists, a lot of liberal people. We have a common enemy, which is a foreign hostile culture, i.e. Islam. Let's not forget that, okay? Let's not try to get one up on each other. And we need to learn to coexist like we did before. I know my side effed up. I will raise my hand, okay? Our side gave rise to far left wokey politics, which forgot the difference between good and bad, okay? They forgot that, yes, you may disagree with Christianity, but Christianity is not evil to Western civilization. In fact, Christianity has played a huge role in shaping Western civilization, as have the secularists. So we have to find a way to live together, to coexist, as we did in America. America has been a secular country for a very long time. American founding fathers understood that. Some of the American founding fathers I know it's unpopular to say, they were atheists, but they understood one thing, that we cannot persecute people in the name of religion. But there's a different religion at play. So there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So these Islamists will try to sow seeds of division between atheists and Jews and Christians. We have to stick together because we have lived with each other for over 100 years, maybe 200 years, okay? We have evolved simultaneously together. But there's one other culture that just made an entry in the last 50 or 60 years in the Western world, and it is coming to fruition right now. The decisions people made after World War II are now bearing their fruits. And I can tell you those fruits are not as tasty as they were, as they promised them to be. So the Islamists are crying, but look at this. Look how vile this other side is. Just have a look at that. I showed you how disgusting they appear, how they're brainwashing the children. Look at their language. Look at the way they dress. I mean, they should be canceled just on that. The way they color their hair, the way they put these nose rings and freaks. But have a look at this. Have a listen to this. Imagine if Tommy Robinson said this on stage. Actually, no, you know what? I don't do this. Like, imagine this, imagine that. I'm seeing this from the other side. Mehdi Hassan does that all the time. Imagine this if a Muslim had done that. You Muslims, there is nothing left for you guys to do. You have done everything already. You've crossed every single line. But they still say, oh, imagine it. Just yesterday in Italy, I can't play you the video, another Muslim, and Giorgia Meloni said that, oh, it wasn't an act of terror, it was a mental health issue. And lo and behold, another Muslim, Salim al-something, and mowed down a dozen people. Some of them are critically injured, severely injured, but hey, there's nothing wrong. Imagine if a Muslim had done this. They're doing this every single day. Listen to this.
Excuse me, should we shoot Tommy Robinson in the neck? Okay.
Get your clip elsewhere.
So they've just said that they want to hang Tommy Robinson and shoot him in the neck like Charlie Kirk. It's getting very aggressive.
A whole bunch of, sorry. Even if I was on their side, I would have ditched them just because the way they look. I mean, so retarded. Look, but okay, so they're having a meltdown. They're complaining about this and that. Imagine this, imagine if a Muslim had done this. We are the biggest victims. But they outrightly lie. I showed you the original footage, yeah? Let me show you another original footage, okay? This is definitely from this year. Have a look at this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this. A lot of people are playing last year's video clips, but because I had seen every single clip, so I know which one belongs to September 2025 and which one is from this year. This is from this year. Okay, have a look at this. Have a look at this. Piers Morgan is saying 50,000 people turned up. This is big. This is very big. This one square is about 10,000, okay? So you could get, I don't know, maybe 500,000 people. I don't know, maybe 500,000 people. If that's all there is, maybe 500,000 people, okay? Last year, it was 1 million plus, okay? So you saw this, okay? Whatever. You want to say 100,000, 200,000, whatever. But you've seen this, right? And then you say this. Look at this. Look at this. They say, Tiny Tommy, tiny turnout. This was taken at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or, you know, towards the end of the event. Of course, half the people have left, more than half have gone home because because people are coming in and going across the day. So there will be a peak moment when people would peak and then people would start going home, because not everyone can get this close to the stage. People just walk, people just march, and then people go home. But I saw all of them tweet this as though it was an actual an actual photo. Look at this. Even Sly News covered this. Even they played this video.
Custody suite. So it is difficult if you're, as you put them in a vehicle and get them to the custody suite. So it is difficult if you're, as you see there, in the bang in the middle of that group of people, and something happens, you need to step in. You then got to get yourself
that group of people
somewhere where a police vehicle can get to, which isn't difficult in the middle. And what we've got today, 2 big marches. So you've got a huge part of central London that's now shut off.
The other march is not huge at all. If I have the photo, I'll probably show it to you. It was ridiculous.
So you could find yourself between the middle of the 2 and nowhere for you and your prisoner to go to. So it has to be like a quite a definite decision, and we've got to step in at this point, at this time, to take that person out of the crowd. But 11 arrests so far.
Just 11 arrests. But have a look at this. Fairly decent size, okay? Decent sized crowd. I don't know, 500,000, 400,000. I've said it before. It actually doesn't matter. And if fewer people turned up this year, then that was because of Keir Starmer's threats. Keir Starmer deploying extra police, riot gear, when there was no need. As I said, there was no precedent. Nobody, if they had arrested hundreds or thousands of people last year, then fair enough. You had grounds to deploy heavy policing. But this time they did it, and they frightened people. That's why fewer people turned up than last year. So this is not on Tommy Robinson. This is not a failure by any stretch of imagination. Look at the witch hunting. Look how many people they banned from coming to the UK. And look at this. They're crying. Let me show you their tears. Look at this. Look at this. Who are these lunatics? Well, at least they look normal. That's a big win. Look at this video. I don't know if this video is from this year. I think this is from this year, but there is another video put in from last year, I think. It was a decent turnout. It was a decent turnout. So there's no doubt about that. There are hundreds of thousands of people are there. Not 10,000, not 50,000, hundreds of thousands of people are here. Probably over 500,000 people. But we don't have to get in this pissing contest that, oh, you know, like there was 1 million people, 2 million people. No need to exaggerate. Tommy Robinson has become a cultural phenomenon. And as I said at the start, that this is a genius move by Tommy Robinson to portray this as a cultural movement as opposed to a political movement, which is why he welcomed everyone, every politician to come, even the lefties, to come and, you know, speak to the people. But only Ben Habib turned up. I didn't watch the whole thing because I covered it, actually. I covered it until 1 o'clock Australian time, 1 a.m. So I was halfway through. So I covered it. I don't know if anyone else turned up. Only Ben Habib turned up. Nigel Farage hates Tommy Robinson. He has stabbed him in his back a few times, which is a bad move on Nigel's part because Tommy Robinson is not coming down as your political rival. He's coming out as a cultural icon. And I don't know, this guy, he's very young. Well, he's my age. I think he's 43 years old. I'm 42, by the way. And he's got a long way to go. Something tells me he's going to achieve enormous things. He's going to be a kingmaker. He wouldn't get directly involved in politics, but he will be, whoever he endorses is going to benefit immensely politically. So I don't think it's a good idea to be in his bad books. So anyway, so I would say that this was a successful rally, and Keir Starmer's pathetic attempts to divert attention from him to Tommy Robinson, whoever thought that was a good idea? I mean, who are his advisors? Obviously, they want him to fail. So anyway, it didn't work. He's gonna resign, but his ego is not letting him resign peacefully. He's gonna resign on his own terms. So I don't think he's gonna survive for long. But well done, Tommy. Well done, Patriots. This is not just about the UK. As I've said before, a new identity is emerging, which is the identity of Western patriots. Whether you're an American or Canadian or Australian or a Kiwi or a Brit, all of our countries are under threat from a foreign, hostile, barbaric, medieval ideology that doesn't even try to hide its intentions. And they're being facilitated by another hostile ideology, lefty, Marxist, communists, wokes. It's an amalgamation of multiple loose ideologies. But together, they have one thing in common. They actually hate each other too. They have nothing in common with each other. The Islamists and Marxist, communist, woke LGBT, all of those people. They're in one category and the Islamists are in the other category. The only thing that unites them, that binds them, is their joint hatred and contempt for Western civilization. Let's not forget, Western civilization, the modern Western civilization as we know it, started off with Christianity, went through a Renaissance and a scientific revolution and classical liberal philosophies. But what we see today is an amalgamation, it's a soup of secularism, liberalism, and of course, Christian traditions and values. Okay? We cannot ignore Christianity. We cannot leave Christianity out of the story of Western civilization. It is important to recognize that. I think Richard Dawkins' New Age atheist movement tried to get rid of Christianity altogether, which turned out to be a massive mistake because that gave rise to wokeism. I have seen that happen in real time, guys. This is why I as an atheist, I hold no grudge or hatred or animosity towards Christianity or Christian beliefs. I don't see that. It doesn't bother me when I see Christian people celebrating Christianity, coming together, forming communities, building communities. I don't get offended. I don't get hurt. I don't get annoyed. Nothing ever happens to me. But one thing I would want you to say, that please do not make the same mistake that we made at the turn of the century when we tried to rewrite the story of Western civilization without Christianity. You cannot do that without seculars and liberals like us. You cannot do that. You have to include us. We have to rebuild Western civilization together. And we have a common enemy. We know who the enemy is. Whether they're the communists or the Marxists or the Islamists, they're not our friends. They have completely different ideas on running societies or building civilizations. Remember that.